Hello everybody and welcome to a train simulator video. Today we will be driving a Class 158 and Class 170 combination from Liverpool Lime Street to Manchester Piccadilly via Warrington. So the first thing we need to do is turn off the pause menu, and then we're going to enter the cab and we're going to open the doors by pressing T. And the next thing we need to do is we need to press Shift and W to turn the master key and put the train into gear with W. Cancel the automatic warning system, put the train into neutral gear. We'll turn on the driver safety device with Control D, and this will sound every 60 seconds and we need to respond to it by pressing E. The next thing we need to do is set up the train's lighting, so if I press K to turn off the tail lights, and then I'll press and hold H to turn on the daytime running lights, and then press I to turn on the instrument lights. As the signal ahead of us is displaying a clear aspect, I can turn off the driver reminder appliance with Y. And then the next thing we can do is we can set up the train's destination display, and if I press the F1 to bring up the briefing, and we need to enter the destination code 132 as this train is bound for Norwich. So if I press clear and press 132 and enter, and we have Norwich on the destination display. In fact, I can quickly show you an Easter egg of this train. If you can't remember any codes, you can still press F7 and F8 to cycle through the destinations, as you can see here. So that's a very useful feature. But if I reset the camera now, as we are now ready to depart, so press W, put the train into gear, acknowledge the AWS, and the scenario we are playing comes with the Cummins enhancement pack for Armstrong Powerhouse's Class 158. Departing Lime Street, the starting speed limit is 15 miles an hour, and we have about 7 miles to go to the first station stop at Hunts Cross. Just in front of us is a Class 150 Sprinter. Just now accelerating up to the new speed limit of 30 miles an hour. The train that just passed us was another Class 158, which you could probably see the large plume of smoke. This is of course a feature of the Class 158 enhancement pack. where if you load the train up in one instance, it could be smoking like there's no tomorrow, and if you load the train up in a separate instance, it could be running as clean as a whistle. And this is commonly referred to as the clag factor. It's worth noting that the Class 170 turbo start at the rear of the train requires the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 170 enhancement pack for this scenario to be able to work. I should also point out that in order for this particular enhancement pack to work correctly, you also require the Dovetail Games Class 159 Network Southeast Sprinter, as that is the pack that Armstrong Powerhouse used as a basis for creating this enhancement pack, as well as the Perkins Engine enhancement pack, which is also available. The speed limit is now increasing to 80 miles an hour. So far I've had quite a challenge to keep the 158 within the speed limit. The Class 158s are capable of speeds of up to 90 miles an hour. Momentarily here the speed is just about to drop down to 70 miles an hour for this short section of track, before increasing back up to 80 miles an hour just before the next signal. The flashing double yellow is indicating a change of route, so I'm just going to shut the power off now, and I'm going to start getting ready to slow down for an upcoming speed restriction of 20 miles an hour. We're now passing through Liverpool's South Parkway station. I've been to South Parkway myself on numerous occasions for vintage bus rallies. On the approach to Hunts Cross, you'll notice that the track becomes third rail equipped. This is for Merseyrail's Northern Line trains, currently consisting of Class 507 and 508 units. Just passing us is a Class 142 Pacer. Now I'm going to slow down to stop at Hunts Cross. And here we are at Hunts Cross. Merseyrail trains normally terminate in the bay platform on our left-hand side. However, as you can see, there is a third rail on our platform, which can be used as a spare for Merseyrail trains should it become necessary. Our next station stop is at Widnes, which is about 5 miles away. The line speed has also increased back up to 85 miles an hour. As you can probably tell now, we are starting to climb here. I'm now going to drop the power down into notch 4. And again into notch 3. I just want to gently lower the power down at risk of losing too much speed. I'm now going to shut the power off and prepare to slow down to stop at Widnes. And here we are at Widnes. So we now have 6 miles to go to the next station stop at Warrington Central. So at the time of recording this video, I picked up the Liverpool and Manchester route in the Halloween Steam sale, and today, the day I'm actually recording this video on, is actually Halloween, believe it or not. The route normally retails at £14.99, however I've been able to pick it up at 50% off at £7.49, which is a good price. I think the route, as first impressions go, I like the scenery of the route, and it's great for stretching the legs of the sprinters out, as you can reach some quite high speeds on this route. The only thing that slightly baffles me is this route could have been much better. It could have, I believe, Dovetail, if Dovetail wanted to make this route even more better, they could have extended the route out to Manchester Airport, but maybe also have included the route via to Liverpool via Chat Moss, which was the world's very first intercity railway to be built. So it does, with that kind of historical background, it does seem kind of odd that Dovetail would admit that. Maybe at some stage they might do what they've done with like the North London line and the South Wales Coastal, where they'll re-release the route at some point in the future and add the line via Chat Moss. I think at the time they released it, I think Train Simulator would have been able to handle it under its 32-bit horsepower, but it should be more than capable of handling it now with 64-bit added. But apart from that, it is if you've got a load of sprinters in northern livery which you would like to drive, then this is definitely a route that's recommended for them. There is of course an electrified version of this route available on the Steam Workshop, so if you've got a bit of imagination and you have any northern livers class 319s, you could also try download that and use that for the 319s as well. So I've just got advance warning of a 50-mile-an-hour speed restriction, which I'm going to start slowing down for now. Just going to slow down for this upcoming further reduction down to 40 miles an hour. Just put in step 1 of power now. Oh, sorry, step 1 of braking. Just going to release the brakes now. The majority of station and platforms on this route can only really hold the maximum 4-car train, so it's best to enter the station at around about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And here we are at Warrington. There is of course Warrington Bank Quay within the same vicinity, which is served by trains on the West Coast Main Line. We now have 3 miles to go to the next station stop at Birchwood, and the speed limit is currently 75 miles an hour. However, I can see on the track monitor that it is due to reduce down to 65. Speed limit is now increased to 85 miles an hour. The 65 limit was just for that tight curve there. And I'm now slowing down for Birchwood Station. We now have about 12 miles to go to the next station stop at Manchester Oxford Road. If I just quickly move to the external camera, you can see that the Turbo Star at the rear has the tail lights working, and the destination display at the rear is displaying Norwich, which is a nice added detail. I believe that Armstrong Powerhouse products are scripted in such a way that they can work together in harmony. So with the Class 150 Sprinters, for example, with their respective packs, you can run the hybrid sets. Just going to cut the power off now as we are encountering a reduction in the gradient. The gradient has just levelled out a bit now. I'm going to put the train into notch 3. Notch 4 just to bring the train up to speed. One thing you'll notice as we get closer to Manchester, the intermediate stations get closer together as well. On the left is the station that allows Manchester United fans access to Old Trafford. And I've just had to slam the brakes on for an upcoming reduction in the speed to 30 miles an hour. Also just coming into view on our left are the tracks of the Manchester Metro link. Unfortunately for the world of Train Simulator, there are no Metrolink trams available as yet. With the single yellow aspect, I'm now going to have to prepare to slow down at the for the next signal, which could be displaying a red aspect. can just about make out in front of us that the signal is red. In fact, it has just changed to green, so I can now accelerate back up to line speed. In fact, the speed limit is dropping down to 25 miles an hour, so I've just cut the power off now. Just going to cut the power now and slow the train right down to 20 miles an hour. The train that just passed us there was a Virgin Voyager. And here we are at Oxford Road. Just looking in the background there, I do like the way the station canopies have been modelled. Just got a couple of minutes waiting time here. Not due. We weren't due in until 8:37 according to the timetable. I'll just check the F1 briefing, and we are due to depart at 8:38. So we've got about 3 minutes or so. In fact, I'll just bring it back up again and we'll see how we've done so far. So far we've stopped at every single station on time except for the third one. So we won't be getting the green tick at the end of the scenario. But so far so good. I have enjoyed playing through this scenario. I always do enjoy playing through Armstrong Powerhouse scenarios. Check the chop monitor, and we do actually have a train just coming in now, which is bound for Blackpool North. So the speed limit has just jumped up to 35 miles an hour. However, upon final approaches to Manchester Piccadilly, the speed limit will drop back down again to 20 miles an hour. And here we are at Manchester Piccadilly. So in the main station building you can see a Midland Main Line Class 43 HST with a service bound for St Pancras. And there we are, that's the scenario complete. So we only got caught 3 times for speeding, which is very good. And of course we didn't complete the scenario because we didn't stop on time at one of the stations. But I suppose 6 out of 7 stations on time isn't too bad going. But apart from that, a very enjoyable scenario, and I would thoroughly recommend that if you have the Dovetail Games Class 159 Network Southeast Sprinter, that you pick up the Cummins enhancement pack of the Class 158. There is of course also the Perkins enhancement pack available for the same unit, so either one or both, I thoroughly recommend you pick those up. So thank you very much for watching this video, and take care.